winter is hard on your trees. Snow, ice, rain, a lot of branches come down. And then there's the winter pruning of your fruit trees. That's what I've done. So I got a stack of branches that I need to shred. I use them in my garden paths as mulch. That's why I was happy Yeryork contacted me and asked me to check out their wood chipper shredder and give a review on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I just received the shredder and got to put it together. So this is the Yeryork 15-inch electric wood chipper shredder. It has a 15 amp motor. Mailman's coming by. Dog's going crazy. 1.8 inch cutting depth, 4,000 RPM speed, and a 45 liter collection capacity. That's what it should look like when we get it all together. But right now, this is what it looks like. So let me start taking out the pieces and putting it together. So on the surface, I can tell you it looks very similar to the Harbor Freight chipper shredder that I previously reviewed. It's got the same style, same look to it, but I do know that right off the bat, it has one advantage over the Harbor Freight, and that's because they include this holding spot for the handle. The Harbor Freight one doesn't have something like that, and I was constantly finding I would be leaving it here when I was using the chipper, and you don't always have to be using this to push the pieces into the slot, and it would vibrate off. So this is a thoughtful inclusion from Yeryork to have a space to hold it, and it's got one on the other side too, in case you want to have it on the right hand side or left, as the case may be. So I'm going to put this together. It shouldn't be all that difficult. The stand just snaps into the bottom, the axle claps onto the wheels, and then these covers just snap into place. So we'll be right back. So before attaching the legs to the base of the unit, you'll want to attach the axle. So what you do is you use your Allen key that they give you, and then you remove the screw like this, and then you take off this sleeve here. So you can then just slide it through the holes in the legs at the elbow there, and then to hold it in place, you can slide the legs in. Then you take your sleeve, slide it on. It's like Winnie the Pooh in the blustery day here. And attach the screw in place. I'll probably want to be putting the wheels on before I do this, but so you'll have the axle in place, and then you can tighten down the legs. It makes it easier than trying to spread the legs apart after you've screwed the legs in first and fit the axle in between them. So before attaching the silver nut to the end, so you want to take your wheel and slide it over that sleeve there. And then you take your nut and then you'll screw it into place there. And then tighten it down with the Allen key that they gave you. And then you take your cover, and it looks like they got little slots in here for these tabs to fit in. So wheel wants to move around on me. So I'm going to put the phone down and I'll be back. And it really doesn't take much to snap them into place once you have two hands. So, and then the wheel spins. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So the wheel obviously has two sides, and you want the good side facing out. So it just slips right on there like that. And then just as before, you take your nut and screw it in. and then tighten it down with the Allen key, which you can see actually has a special fitting for the nut there. So it looks like it's got, a good form factor on it. It's well balanced. Up here, it's got some safety features. It's got the rubber fins here to stop any kickback of any of the wood that you're going to put in there. It says 1.8, so I'm guessing that's 1 3/4 thereabouts that you can fit. A little bit smaller. It's got the weather protected on-off switch here. It's not plugged in right now. It's got the plug on the end. And I guess this is to hold the cord, the extension cord, so it doesn't dislocate instead of having to tie it into a knot at the end. So that's a thoughtful addition. This is how you're going to access the interior of the thing if you need to clean it out. Unscrew this. And then you can lift it up and get to the business end of it. I do like, oh, this is nice. I do like that this tilts forward and stays there for you. On the Harbor Freight one, it just comes off. This is great. Because there was a lot of times that I really didn't want to have to bother with dealing with the having to take that whole thing off. This is just so much better. It holds it right in place for you. The other thing that I could compare it to on the Harbor Freight one had all ribs in here, like open channels all throughout here, and the wood chips would just build up in there, and you'd have to come through and clean it out with a stick or something, or screwdriver. This is all enclosed. That's going to be great. So you're not going to have like a buildup of chips in here. You got the blades, and these are going to be reversible. So if the one side gets dull, you don't have to sharpen it just yet. You can just flip them around, reattach them, and you'll be ready to go. So it's got two blades on it, one down there, one up here. And this is just the protective housing on it. Let me see if it comes with an extra set of blades. Hold on. So this doesn't come with an extra set of blades. I guess that's one plus for the Harbor Freight one, and that it came with a second set of blades with the unit. This looks well constructed. As I said, it's pretty sturdy. And you just got to screw this down forever to lock. Oh! As I said, it's pretty breezy out here today, and the fabric bag has been blowing away. But it's good form factor. These are the clips that you hang the bag on. They're easy to access. And now we're going to put it to work. The real test of any tool, though, is how well does it work. It could look good, but if it doesn't work, it's no good. This looks good, so let's see if it works as good. I'll start it up, see how loud it is, and then I'll turn the volume down when we start chipping. So we'll turn it on. It's loud, but it's not that loud. All right, let's put it through its paces. See how well how fine the chip is on this, and it looks pretty good. That's a nice fine chip. on that. Those are some smaller branches. Let's see if I got anything a little bit bigger. I don't have anything too wide. I don't have a 1.5 one because I've been chopping up stuff all winter long. But I'll see if I can find something a little bit bigger. All right, I found some small pieces, but they're a little bit bigger. So this one should fit in no problem. This one's a little bit thicker, so we'll see if it fits and how well it does. So I've opened it up, and I guess it just got caught in there. Now I would have liked to have seen a reset button on here. I don't see one. And I'm not sure if it tripped the circuit, so I'm gonna put it back together and try and start it up again, because I can't see from here if the outlet has been tripped. Okay, we'll turn it back on and we'll see what happens. It looks like it tripped the circuit, so I'll be back. So the circuit tripped. We've cleared out, we've determined that there's no blockage inside. So now let's turn it back on. There we go. I would have liked to have seen an internal circuit breaker that you could just reset right from here. I have a GFI outlet that I'm plugged into, and anything outdoors really should be a GFI outlet. But if you have just a regular outlet and you're plugging it into that, and it trips, you're going to have to walk all the way down to your basement or wherever you have your circuit breaker box to reset the thing. So a design consideration would have been having some kind of circuit breaker built right into here for those kind of problems. So let's get some more wood going through this thing. Well, let's just see how it did on that big piece of wood. Yeah, that chipped it up. So the blades are very sharp, very powerful, and they make nice wood chips out of it. That's exactly what I use on my ground. So that's nice. So we'll chip up some more. So you can see it feeds it into the chipper blades pretty much all by itself. You don't even have to assist it. Once you get it started, it just pulls it down. So I'm going to be chopping up all of my branches there, and then I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, made quick work of all those branches and gave me a nice bag of wood chips. Let me show you. So the branches are all gone, and they're all in here. And sometimes when you feed the a branch with a bunch of side shoots on it, it doesn't quite grab them all, but that's common. But the mulch is really nice. So that's real good. Plus, it gives you a good sized bag too. what did I say it was, like 40 liters or something like that, 42 liters. So that's a good sized bag of material that you can end up chipping. Now you can't do leaves in something like this. The hopper is too small, plus this would stop leaves going through, and it's just not effective for trying to shred leaves in here. It'd be nice if they had a feature like that, like if you could take out this here and then be pouring some leaves in there, shred leaves. But for branches, which is what it's for, it chips them up real nice, shreds them up, and makes some really good mulch. Pretty powerful machine. Like I said, it made quick work of all those branches that I had. I even took the one where the circuit breaker blew and put it back through, and nothing. Actually, I didn't have another problem with tripping the circuit breaker with any of the branches that I put through there. So that's nice to know. So having shredded all those branches, let's see what it's like if you want to have to clean it out. Okay, so we just lift it through. Yeah, so this is going to be very easy to clean. If you got a compressor, you can just blow it out. When you put green stuff, green branches through, they tend to wrap around the center. They tend to wrap around this center spindle, and but you can clean them off. And it's just the nature of this shroud right here that they're all like this, all with the little ribs, and so it tends to catch the chips in there. But any just a brush, or as I said, an air compressor, and you can clean that off very quick. But you don't have any problems in here in this whole area. And as I said on the Harbor Freight one, that was the issue there. There was open ribs, and they would just back up with chips. So it's simple, and then you just close it back down and lock it in place. They always make these screws so damn long. There we go. That locks it. So, the Yeryork Chipper Shredder did a great job. I'm very happy. So I thought the Yeryork Chipper Shredder had a lot of nice thoughtful features on it. Like I said, I like the way the front tilts open and holds it in place. I like that the inside is solid, doesn't have like those open ribs that are going to attract and catch all wood chips in there. And I like that the handle has a place to hold on to on the side, so you're not having to throw it on the ground, put it somewhere else, or just let it rattle over the top of the machine. So those were the, like I said, thoughtful additions that they put onto it. Now, as I said, I would like to have had a circuit breaker button right on it, so you don't have to walk over to your outlet and reset it there. But I guess that's a small complaint. So otherwise, I think the Yeryork Chipper Shredder is a good deal. I'll leave a link to it below if you want to buy one yourself.